Awesome Kid sends back out Cloyster. Cloyster gets a very nice Ice Shard farm down. The opponent sends back out Nidoqueen. My god, they must be weak. Awesome Kid with a 2-to-1 shield advantage correctly shields up the Earth Power. And if Nidoqueen don't know just how hard Shadow Cloyster hits, they're about to find out. Welcome back to the channel. We're back at it. I have been ill, my voice is pretty much recovered, and we have so many quality battle submissions to get through. Today starting out one of my favourite Pokemon, Shadow Cloyster. The current meta has had a big shake up. Due to the huge buff to water and fire types, Giratina's back the top dog, and my god does Cloyster shut it down. Not only that, due to its ice water typing, Cloyster is able to beat the fire types that are also running rampant, such as Skeledirge and Talonflame. Swampert again, a very good anti-meta pick. Due to its ground water typing, Cloyster also advantageous there. These battles were submitted today by one of our channel members. Firstly, huge thanks for the support and also an active member of my Discord. If you want to join the Discord, it's linked down below. Without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game one, we lead Cloyster into Kanto Muck. Cloyster did get access to liquidation either last season or the season before. That is a water type crunch clone. You can see it lands for huge damage. Awesome Kid looking to invest in his Cloyster. He correctly shields up the gunk shot. Holy, the opponent wasn't messing around. Then save switch into a Frost Breath Walrein. Certainly not the move you're looking for. If you want to run Walrein, like we are, you want to Elite TM it to Powder Snow. The opponent shows no respect to the Blast Burn. They near get one shot. This is only enough for an Icicle Sphere, which hits for neutral. Charizard withstands the damage. Charizard gets the full wing attack farm down and leaves with a charge move for the road. Back out comes Mark, and is the opponent willing to invest a Protect Shield? No, they're not. They're saving 2 shields, whatever they've got in the back, and it happens to be Giratina. And my god, is Giratina in for a terrible time as we've got double ice. Cloyster comes in, throws 1 Ice Shard, and the Avalanche. Avalanche goes unshielded, and looks like the opponent saving 2 shields for next season. Moving on to the next one. Oof, tough lead. Both our ice types do hit Virizion for super effective. However, Virizion far out spams us. The opponent look to throw on the CMP type. Awesome Kid says, not today, trainer. We shield up the Leaf Blade. We then pivot into Walrein, banking all of that energy. Walrein, slightly more bulky than Cloyster. It is going to be able to tank a Leaf Blade, but my god, it's not pretty. Walrein already down to around a third health, but undeterred, we throw 1 Powder Snow and the Icicle Sphere for optimal fast move timing, and just like that, Virizion is eliminated. Oof, another rough Pokemon. The opponent sends in Blaziken. Blaziken gets a very nice counter farm down. Awesome Kid does have a charge move banked on Cloyster, but opts to send out Charizard. And now we're in the bait game. The opponent farm up to a potential Stone Edge or Brave Bird. We call the bait, and holy crap, we get absolutely nuked. It's now all down to Cloyster. Cloyster fires off the liquidation. Show me the defense drop, please. The opponent doesn't get the defense drop. They've still got a Protect Shield. Cloyster throws liquidation. Number 2, the opponent is just going to shield. I would say counter farm us down. They actually opt to throw a charge move. Awesome Kid, recognising the game's over, just allows it to go through. GG's to both trainers. In the next battle, we see Swampert. Swampert, not bad for our Cloyster. These Ice Shards hit for neutral, and the opponent has to go all the way for an Earthquake to do any meaningful damage. The opponent farm up to what could be an Earthquake. Awesome Kid says, I dare you, opponent. The opponent masturbate like a plonker, and we do not shield baits in this household. Then save switch into Empoleon, and we don't really have a great response. We fire off the liquidation, fishing for the defense drop. We see no defense drop. We do get some very nice chip damage. We then pivot into the Walrus. Walrein is easily going to be able to survive a Drill Peck. The opponent, YOLO the Flash Cannon. Fucking hell, I've only just recovered from losing my voice, and we are seeing some mad nukes thrown. Walrein just about hangs on, returns fire with the Earthquake. Unfortunately, Awesome Kid is going to get Waterfall farmed down, so we're forced to settle for the Icicle Sphere. Icicle Sphere gets his Empoleon down below half health, but they have got residual energy. We now send in Charizard. Awesome Kid very much needs to start shielding. We shield up the Drill Peck. What a moveset. Drill Peck Flash Cannon. I have never seen that in my life, but it did actually catch us off guard. We throw the Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw secures the knockout. Back out comes Swampert. We go for that wham bam combo play. Pivot out into Cloyster. Fire off the liquidation, and liquidation does force the opponent's final Protect Shield. The opponent then pivot out into Tangrowth. Can we make that Avalanche? Oof. We cannot. It's now all down to Charizard to clean up this battle. We're going to have to respect the Rock Slide, which will be incoming. Rock Slide would definitely knock out, probably even from full health, for being brutally honest. Awesome Kid now over farms, fires off the Dragon Claw, Dragon Claw will be lethal. Swampert exited with a charge move. Is Blast Burn going to be enough to knock out? It is resisted, but Charizard hits like a truck. Is it enough? Of course it is. Who was worried? GG's and thanks for playing. What a fun battle. My God, have I missed shoutcasting. In the next battle, we see Cresselia in the lead. Not great for either ice type, especially if they're on Grass Knot. This opponent most certainly is on Grass Knot as they throw it on 6 on alignment, giving us a full 3 ice shard. Awesome Kid shields up the Grass Knot. He then throws 3 ice shards and the Avalanche for optimal fast move timing. Most Cloysters run Icy when they might not be expecting the Avalanche, and Avalanche rocks Cresselia down below half health. We then pivot into Charizard. The opponent has enough for a future sight. Awesome Kid says show me or I won't respect it. The opponent masturbate with the double resisted Grass Knot, and Charizard now sitting in a fantastic spot. The opponent continue to stay in. They then throw the Moonblast and Steel. Charizard doesn't give a shit. Awesome Kid nicely over farms, doesn't get greedy, full sends the Blast Burn, guaranteeing the knockout. Get that Cresselia out of here. The opponent then sends in Swampert, and Charizard still not done. Fires off the next Blast Burn, and Blast Burn forces the Protect Shield back. Awesome Kid then commits to the next Blast Burn, preventing Swampert from over farming any further. Charizard has done its job. Awesome Kid elects to let it go down. We then send in Cloyster. This can only be a Hydro Cannon, and we see the instant no shield deployed. Cloyster withstands the damage. We then farm up, throw 1 ice shard and the liquidation. Liquidation hits for neutral and has a 30% chance of getting the debuff. We don't see any debuff. We then pivot into Walrein. This time the opponent farm up to what could be an Earthquake. And again, Awesome Kid calls the bait. And this time the opponent is not baiting. However, the Powder Snow does take care of Swampert. And it's just Giratina remaining versus our 2 ice types. Walrein fires off the first Icicle Sphere, forcing the Protect Shield. The opponent continued to farm up, and Walrein says there's plenty more of where that came from. The second Icicle Sphere gets Giratina down below half health. The opponent gets scared, don't commit to the farm down, throw the Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw will be securing the knockout. Back out comes Cloyster. Cloyster can just shield this move up. We've got the energy for the Avalanche, even if the opponent's doubled up, which I don't think they are. Cloyster would win CMP, and Avalanche is going to be huge overkill. GG's and thanks for playing. Awesome Kid managing to overcome a very tricky lead and pick up a big fat dub. In the next battle, we see another core breaker. Greninja going to be problematic for the entirety of our team. Let's see how Awesome Kid plays this one out. The opponent throw the Night Slash, fishing for their boost. The RNG gods say not today, trainer. Awesome Kid gonna fire off the liquidation, praying to the RNG gods himself. Liquidation goes unshielded. We don't get the defense drop, but holy, that did a lot of resisted damage. Greninja returns fire with the Night Slash. We then bank the charge move for the road and send out the Walrus. The opponent bank a boatload of energy, send out Toxicroak. We farm up to the Earthquake bait with the Icicle Sphere. Does the opponent call the bait? They do not. Awesome Kid, evidently the best masturbator in the world. Again, we farm up to the Earthquake and bait with the Icicle Sphere. Toxicroak this time calls the bait, but they get greedy, look for the full counter farm down. A Walrein, the spammy little pest that it is, makes one further Icicle Sphere, forcing the opponent's final Protect Shield. We've now got Charizard up 2 Protect Shields, and we all know just how ruthless it is. The opponent doesn't throw. Holy cow, they get farmed down despite having probably about 2 bazillion energy. Back out comes Greninja. The opponent fire off the Hydro Cannon. We then go for that wham, bam combo play, serving up the Big Mac and the fries. We snipe Greninja. The opponent's final Pokemon is Togekiss, and they're going to gracefully concede the match. An Awesome Kid goes a very nice 4-1 in set number 1. GG's. In the next set, we're going to have a change of lead. We're going to run ABB Ice rather than ABA Ice. Pick up a great lead. The opponent sends out Chandelure. Holy, what a pick. This season's buff to Incinerate actually make this a really fun pick. Just look at the Incinerate damage. The opponent now boosting up their own attack. Awesome Kid then throws 2 Ice Shards and the Liquidation. So ideally, we should have thrown 3, but it is what it is. We force a Protect Shield at this stage. Cloyster has done its job, and we're just going to elect to let it go down. Awesome Kid going to now send in the Walrus. We then play to a CMP tie. that we do not win Chandelure, getting Awesome Kid hot and flustered, and can you blame him, as this thing is terrifying. Speaking of which, one of my channel regulars, the mighty X Boston, has submitted some battles which will be coming at some stage. However, I've got distracted, so getting back into the commentary, the opponent send out Obstagoon. We then bait Obstagoon with the Dragon Claw. Awesome Kid with no Protect Shields. 2 high beyond will be tanking the incoming charge move, which is actually an Obstruct. I'm really not sure on this play. Back out comes Virizion. Awesome Kid elects to throw the Blast Burn as soon as he gets it, getting Virizion out of here. I think there we should have overfarmed just before they reached the potential Stone Edge. I think even debuffed, we would have survived the Leaf Blade or Sacred Sword. It's now all down to Walrein to clean up this battle, and unfortunately Obstagoon just going to have too much in the tank, and unfortunately ABB Ice off to a 0-1 start. Heading into the next battle, looking for some redemption, and we see a great lead. Sceptile most certainly doesn't fancy the smoke of our Charizard. The opponent safe switches into Typhlosion. Both Typhlosion and Charizard have exactly the same stat product, just a different type, and we force a Protect Shield. With the Dragon Claw, the opponent farm up to what could be a Solar Beam, and we are going to respect it. Holy cow, the opponent full send. This time, Awesome Kid learnt from his mistake previously and throws 3 Ice Shards and the Liquidation for optimal fast move timing. So if you want to improve as a battler, my top tip would be always record your battles and always watch your losses. You can see Awesome Kid once again throws 3 Ice Shards and the Liquidation for optimal fast move timing. The last battle he threw really poorly, 3 turn into 5 turn, and the very next battle he's brushed up on that, and that is great to see. Sceptile returns to the battlefield, throw the Leaf Blade, securing the knockout. Awesome Kid then makes a very nice catch, catching the Hydro Cannon onto the Walrus, and that is pretty much going to be game, set and match. Swampert can do pretty much nothing against this big fat Walrus. Walrus going to fire off the Icicle Sphere, which puts it into Dragon Claw range. The opponent can Earthquake us if they want. We really don't care. Earthquake does secure the knockout. Back out comes Charizard. And Awesome Kid going for a little bit of bad manners. Blast Burn. Massive overkill. Back out comes Sceptile. And Sceptile is about to meet the same fate, getting barbecued into oblivion. GG's and thanks for playing. Heading into the next battle, we see Charizard into Swampert. You hate to see it, but our 2 ice types love to see it. Awesome Kid goes for the catch and pulls off another beautiful catch, catching the resisted Hydro Cannon onto the big fat Walrus. This is actually a purified Swampert. Swampert continues to stay in, so Awesome Kid takes the initiative, fires off the Icicle Sphere, looking to get some chip damage off. Is this opponent running return? We've seen some crazy stuff in this video, so let's find out. We respect the big move, and the opponent is running the standard move of Earthquake. Awesome Kid then overfarms, throws the Icicle Sphere, looking to get Swampert out of here. The opponent shields the Icicle Sphere, and if the opponent don't like Walrein, they're certainly not going to like Cloyster either. The opponent throw yet another Earthquake, however, Swampert now going to get farmed down, and Charizard leaves absolutely loaded. What does the opponent want to send out into a loaded Charizard? The answer isn't Skeledirge. Fire does resist fire, but Charizard doesn't give a crap about typings. Blast Burn does over half the opponent's HP. We then see their pivot into Cloyster. Looks like Awesome Kid calling another bait, and holy, we get nuked once again. Awesome Kid looking to get Skeledirge out of here with the liquidation forces the Protect Shield. We then send back out Charizard, throw the Dragon Claw immediately, get that Skeledirge off my screen. The opponent's final Pokemon is Togekiss, and Togekiss is not going to fancy this big Blast Burn coverage. Blast Burn is locked, it's loaded. Hi Togekiss, bye Togekiss, get fucking wrecked. GG's and thanks for playing. In the next battle, see Charizard into Nidoqueen. 2 better responses in the back as we've got 2 ice types. Awesome Kid farms up the opponent. Actually look to make a Blast Burn catch onto the Dragon Breath Giratina, and Awesome Kid says not today. Shows great discipline, holds his energy, answers this Giratina save switch with his Walrein. The opponent is on Ancient Power, which is unfortunate. However, Walrein undeterred, going to fire off Icicle Sphere. After Icicle Sphere, the first one forces the opponent's first Protect Shield, but Walrein, being the spammy little pest, says there's plenty more of where that came from and fires the second on the CMP tie. We see the instant no shield deployed. The opponent takes care of Walrein, but don't worry, trainer. There's another Ice-type Cloyster comes in, gets the Ice Shard farm down, back out. Comes Nidoqueen, Awesome Kid, with a 2-to-1 shield advantage. Respects the Earth Power. The opponent is not baiting. And if the opponent don't know just how hard Cloyster hits, they're about to find out. Avalanche vanquishes Nidoqueen. back to their Pokeball. The opponent's final Pokemon is Virizion. We build up some energy, go for that wham bam combo play, full send the Blast Burn, which does force the opponent's final Protect Shield, but Charizard gonna cook Virizion with a second Blast Burn, and that is gonna be all she wrote. GG's, and thanks for playing. Charizard into Scizor, a very nice lead. The opponent instantly pivot into Tapu Fini. Oof. We haven't really got a great response for Tapu Fini. We build up some energy, pivot into Walrein. The opponent full send the Moonblast. Awesome Kid, much like myself, loves to call the bait, but unfortunately it doesn't always work. Awesome Kid now goes for a bait of his own, and the opponent call the bait. Oof, that's rough. Awesome Kid really needs alignment, so he's going to shield up the incoming Surf. Looking at Tapu Fini's health, Walrein's so oppressive, it looks like we can just go straight Icicle Sphere. The first one forces his shield back. Awesome Kid now over farms, fires off the next Icicle Sphere. How bad does the opponent want switch? Walrein maintains alignment. Scizor comes in, looks for the Bullet Punch farm down at Walrein, still not done. Fires off the Icicle Sphere, which is going to do a nice bit of chip damage. We then send out Charizard, and the opponent make a savage Blast Burn catch onto Giratina. We should still be good here. Awesome Kid needs to get out. We need to get out. Oof. Awesome Kid stays in. It looks like he was looking to make the catch, but didn't quite time it correctly. Awesome Kid continues to stay in. We really need to keep this Charizard alive. Dragon Claw forces the Protect Shield. No, the opponent make the next Dragon Claw, and Charizard is going to get denied all of its energy. It's now all down to Cloyster to clean up this battle. I think we just commit to the full Ice Shard farm down and hope a liquidation knocks out the opponent. Fire off one further Dragon Claw. They then send out Scizor, and we're going for the Avalanche. Avalanche is resisted. Liquidation would be neutral. I think looking at that, it would have KO'd, but unfortunately, the opponent reached a charge move, and Trailblaze is going to secure the dub. Well played to that opponent. Heading into the final battle of the video, we see Charizard into Shadow Hitmonchan. A Pokemon I love using in Ultra League, but my god is it expensive. The opponent say switch into Berserker. We look to make a foul play catch onto the Walrus, and we are unsuccessful. Again, we call the bait. Oof, the opponent is baiting this time. We managed to withstand the foul play. Farm up, throw the Earthquake. Earthquake goes unshielded. Get that kitty out of here. Back out comes Shadow Hitmonchan, looking for the counter farm down, but Walrein still not done. Fires off the Icicle Sphere. Icicle Sphere forces a Protect Shield. Hitmonchan is a real box of tricks. What punch do they have? Do they have Thunder Punch? Oof, we might not find out as the opponent plays the CMP tie. They do not win. Blast Burn vanquishes them back to their Pokeball, and a Bomber Snow in the back. So the opponent is going to concede the match. And that, unfortunately, is going to draw to a close another very fun showcase. Huge shout out to Awesome Kid, running a very awesome team. Awesome by name, awesome by nature. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing if you like your battles featured on my channel. A link to our battle submission form is down below. And as always, a huge thank you to everyone for watching. And I will see you all in the next one.